Okay, I think we're about ready to get started. If you have not found a seat yet, go ahead and find one. Make some new friends from another part of the world here. All right, so welcome everybody. Welcome our guests from all over the country, all over the world, and welcome to all of our friends who just joined us from a handful of first-year seminar classes. We are so glad you're here. This is an awesome opportunity for you all to hear a little bit about a project that is near and dear to my heart. So my name quickly is Kyle Hooven. I'm going to be moderating this session. I work in the Office of Academic Advising, Transitions, and Progressions at Shenandoah, and I also do some part-time work with the Barzinji Institute, which has included being a member of the Zero Hunger Project, which is a collaborative project that you're going to get to hear about today between Shenandoah University here in Winchester and Yarmouk University in Irbid, Jordan. So I am joined on stage today by a couple of my friends from Shenandoah and a couple of my friends from Yarmouk. So we have Faith and Josh to my left and Malak and Raian to my right. So I will go ahead and let them introduce themselves. So if you all want to tell our guests your name, where you're from, and what you're studying.
Alrighty. Can everyone hear me? Cool. So my name is Josh. I'm a junior here at Shenandoah University, and I'm a history major.
Yeah, Josh.
My name is Faith Jones. I'm a second semester senior here at Shenandoah studying psychology.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's an absolute honor to be here with you today. Thank you. My name is Malak, and I had privilege of volunteering Zero Hunger Project, which was conducted under auspices of the Refugees, Displaced Person, and the Forest Migration Studies Center at Yarmouk University. She's my friend, and by the way, I'm a translator here for her.
السلام عليكم. اسمي ريعان أبو صهيون، تخصصي علم اجتماع وخدمة اجتماعية. أنا عضو مركز دراسات اللاجئين وبخدم مجتمعي بكل فخر وكل حب. أنتمي إلى هذا المجتمع كوني إنه أنا عندي خبرة عالية جدا في الإنسانية والمجتمع.
She said, my name is Raian. She is a volunteer at Refugees, Displaced Person at the Forest Migration Studies Center at Yarmouk University. And she's so excited when she was working in Project Zero Hunger.
All right, thank you all so much. So for starters, I would like you to talk a little bit about how you came to get involved in this project. So maybe we can start with Faith. Would you mind telling us a little bit about how you got involved with the Zero Hunger Project here at Shenandoah?
Sure. So I serve as the co-president of Food Recovery Network, which is a student-led organization here at Shenandoah University. So starting last fall, Josh and I both became the co-presidents of that organization, and we work to recover the leftover food from the dining hall and other events on campus. And then we donate that food to different community partners, in the community here in Winchester. So that mission of helping reduce food insecurity through the donations of food is what kind of connected myself to the Zero Hunger Project.
Josh, go ahead.
As Faith kind of said, we both kind of joined this project under the Food Recovery Network. And basically, it's kind of a passion of mine, and I'm sure Faith, for you as well. We both care deeply about food insecurity, things like that. So when we were both told about this project, we both signed up right away. With food recovery, it's just giving that food every week, twice a week, to these different food banks. We have worked with multiple different food banks over the years, and then just seeing kind of who gets the food and how they use it. It's just a great thing to see because very important. So, yeah.
All right, Malak.
Well, this marked my debut as a questionnaire researcher. This experience profoundly transformed me. Before this project, I had taken many of life lessons for granted, like food, home, financial issues, etc. This project, Zero Hunger, opened my eyes to the fact that these privileges are mere dreams for others. So thanks God I was part of Zero Hunger.
تخصصي علم اجتماع. تمام. درست مادة هي مادة الدراسات اللاجئين، وحبيت أصلاً أدرسها بعمق أكثر، وغير هيك صح لي فرصة إني أتدرب كمان بالمركز الدراسات وأطبقها على أرض الواقع. مشان هيك حبيت أدخل هالإشي هذا برغبة وبحب قوي لحتى أتعرف على معيشتهم أكثر.
Well, she said she had a course in the university talk about refugees. That's why she was so excited to be a part of this project.
All right. So I think a lot of our guests here have a little bit of background on what the Zero Hunger Project entails, but for some of our friends coming from outside of Jordan and for our first year seminar students, this is probably the first time you're really hearing about the Zero Hunger Project. So it's looked a little bit different on the Winchester and the Irbid side of things. So can you, Malak, maybe start for us, just give us some background and describe a little bit about what the process of this project entailed?
Well, so the working process was like that. We had 18 volunteers. Each one of us had 22 surveys, 12 of them for Irbid camp and the other 12 for Sahur camp. Each survey was divided into 4 sections, A, B, C, and D. And you, like a researcher, you had just fill out the survey carefully without any mistakes. Now, each survey has 4 parts, as I told you, and each part had a particular topic. Would you like to say anything? It's the same. I'm sorry, but just the same process.
All right, Josh, would you like to speak a little bit about what the Zero Hunger Project looked like on the Shenandoah side of things?
Yeah, so I guess like my involvement in the Zero Hunger Project was we'd meet every week, discuss like a whole bunch of different things about the project. One of my main things we would talk about is our surveying. So basically, we had a bunch of these different food banks that were part of like the Blue Ridge area food bank group that we would go to sometimes once a week, sometimes multiple times a week, just depending on when they were open. And then we'd be talking to each different individual using the food bank and asking them a series of questions about like what they think they need more of, what they think they need less of. Do they like the food bank? Is it close enough to them? Is it too far away? And how the food bank could overall improve their experience and make it easier for them to get the food they need in a timely manner.
Do you have anything you'd like to add, Faith?
So like what we've done with the volunteering and donations helps with food insecurity in the moment, but the research that we were looking to do through surveying was more so trying to help solve food insecurity in the long run. So trying to focus on, through surveying, creating those like long-term solutions about improving the available resources we have. So that's what we were doing in Winchester, is trying to create that like global long-term set of information from our questions.
All right. So as I said, I'm joined by 4 up on this stage today, but we're missing 1 student volunteer on the Shenandoah side of things. And as Malak alluded to, the Yarmouk team had a very big research group. So we're actually going to hear a video from our friend Nuseba that is a part of the Yarmouk research team. She's going to talk a little bit about her experience as part of the Yarmouk team.
Hello everyone, I'm Nuseba Abdllh, 24 years old, a volunteer from Jordan, and I'm honored to share my incredible journey with you through Zero Hunger Project at the Refugees, Displaced Persons and Forced Migrations Studies Center at Yarmouk University. I've had the privilege of being part of something truly transformative. This project has been an enlightening chapter in my life, introducing me to the vital concept of food security and the indispensable role that research plays in achieving a comprehensive understanding of the situation. Our journey began in Palestinian refugees camp, where we embarked on the challenging task of collecting data on the financial and family situation of those residing there. It was an eye-opening experience as we delved into detailed questions to gain a comprehensive view of their daily struggles and aspirations. I can't help but recall the heartfelt stories we encountered along the way, stories that moved us deeply and reinforced our determination to make a positive impact. Transitioning to communities grappling with unemployment and poverty, we continued our mission, collecting data that would shed light on the challenges these families daily face daily. Our work was meticulous, as every data point held the potential to shape policies and interventions that could alleviate their hardship. The experience has taught me the indispensable qualities of precision and confidentiality in research, emphasizing the responsibility researchers bear in ensuring the accuracy of their findings. However, our journey didn't end there. In May, we had the distinct honor of hosting a delegation from Shenandoah University, an experience that enriched our project. Together, we revisited every step of our research process through provoking discussions and charted a path forward that holds the promise of even greater impact. Beyond the data and the research, I want to share how this experience has profoundly impacted me. Personally, it has instilled in me a deeper sense of empathy and commitment to helping those in need. Professionally, it skills and insights that I carry forward with me. As I conclude, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to you for taking the time to listen to my story and for showing an interest in Zero Hunger Project. Our journey is far from over, and I'm excited to continue making a meaningful impact in the lives of those we serve. Thank you.
So yes, a big thank you to our friend Nuseba. We miss you and we wish you could be here with us, but we're so grateful that you got to have your voice heard today. So I think as you may have put together through some of what Nuseba said and what we've heard Raian and Malak talk about, and what we've heard from Faith and Josh, the Zero Hunger Project looks very different. We're looking at the issue of food insecurity as a whole, which is something that kind of transcends borders. We see it affecting people in every country all over the world. But as far as what it looks like in our individual projects, it's very different, right? So on the Shenandoah side of things, we were visiting food pantries and sort of gauging the needs of the clients at the food pantries here in the Winchester community, whereas our friends from Yarmouk were going into refugee camps and gauging their needs, which if you don't know much about Jordan, Jordan is one of the countries with the highest per capita rate of refugees anywhere in the world. So for them to be able to do this work in a refugee camp was really amazing. But I think what's so cool about it is that despite the fact that it looks so different, we're sort of working towards the same goal to address the same issue. So again, big thank you to our friend Nuseba for submitting that video. All right, so next I'd like to hear a little bit more from you all about how this project has sort of affected your view of issues in your community, particularly on food security. So maybe we can start with you, Josh. I know outside of this project, you do a lot of volunteering with some of the food pantries. So could you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Yes. So basically, through this project, I was able to make connections through this food pantry in town called the Highland Food Pantry. It is basically a food pantry ran out of this church basement on Highland Street, and once a week in the mornings and the evenings, they give out boxes of food to anywhere from 20 to 40 families. So basically, what I do there is some weekends I will walk in and they'll get like hundreds upon hundreds of pounds of food delivered, and then we just sort it all and prepare it for it to go out. I think that through this project and through that volunteer work, I've basically been able to make a connection of how lucky I am here today, being able to be here in college, speaking to you all today, where some people can't even put like food on the table from themselves day to day. So it's just really like mind blowing just to look at that and see how lucky we are. And I think it's important to, based on that, do what I can to help other people because of that.
Awesome. Faith, do you have anything you'd like to add?
So prior to this project, I feel like I was more focused on the immediate impacts that I could have. And this project has opened my eyes to how I can take it in my own hands to connect with other people and utilize my resources to create a larger, more unified effort. And that's something that I can do as an individual. I have more power than I think. And sometimes through research and through conversations with other people across cultures, or even within your own culture, your own space, having those conversations, asking questions, and doing research can be deeply helpful and impactful. Not only like I now look towards larger questions and larger solutions. I feel like our view can be very short term, but focusing on things that go beyond our control. This project, I believe, we want to have continue beyond when I graduate in December. But I helped out, and that is something that other people are going to work off of. So I think my eyes have been opened to the power of laying those foundational building blocks as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Malak, would you like to talk a little bit about how this has affected your view on?
Well, engaging me in this project connected me with my society. This experience, engaging me, allowing to me understand the challenge people and their needed. When you sit down with them, you witness the depth of their eyes. You can understand what they need and from where they're suffering, As I collected the information and fill out the responses of the questionnaires, the individual shared certain stories of their life. So mothers all time told me, most of them, not all time, told me that their children sometimes went to bed hungry. On the other hand, father shared their feelings when they can't cover the cost to their children.
بالنسبة للأثر، هو أثر بنفسنا، عشانه فعليا كان عظيم إنه نروح نشوف الناس كيف عايشة بعد الأثر السلبي اللي أجاهم من اللجوء. كنا عايشين مثلا يعني بحالة جدا ممتعة، وبنفس الوقت شعور إنه هدول الناس يعني وصلنا منهم ونقدر نعطيهم الأشياء السلبية والإيجابية حول طريقة معيشتهم. تمام. هلا بالنسبة للأثر، أثر كانت إيجابي واستمتعت جدا بالتجربة هاي، وبنصح يعني كثير من الطلاب إنه يجربوها. شكرا.
She said she did not know anything about their life, like refugees, and then just after she did that work, she got a lot of their details in her life and how they can live, and she see so sorry, the life is so hard, and she said we need just to help the refugees because end of the day they are part of our society.
Yeah, so as you can see, we have quite a difference here in the communities that we're working with, but again, working towards the same issue. So one of the things that was very cool about this project, being a part of this project for myself, was that like a lot of our partners here from other universities all around the world, we all kind of got to know each other over Zoom on a computer screen. And then in March, a handful of us from Shenandoah were lucky enough to be able to go and visit Jordan to see the Irbid camp where the Yarmouk team had been doing some of their surveys, meet some of the families in the camps, and then now we are lucky enough to be hosting some of our friends from Yarmouk here in the United States. So we'll start this time with our Yarmouk team. Can you talk a little bit about how do you think this project has benefited from being able to work with a university in another country?
Thank you. Well, so the process was so easy and in the same time it was fun. We was meet each other across meeting Zoom with Scout and Dr. Yunus Merzi. Every Friday, I guess, yeah, we was talking about each part of the survey because as I told you, we have just 4 parts in each survey, A, P, C, D, and each part had a particular topic, so we was just to discuss each part, and we know a lot of information about traditions and our details in each society. About host us here in the United States, it was so perfect. They host us and we are so happy.
تجربتي بزيرو هنغري بس لما كان في تعاون مع بعض. طريقة العمل هي أول إشي تم تدريبنا من قبل المركز كيف نجمع البيانات، تمام، ونزلنا مع الأشخاص زملاء العمل، نزلنا حتى نعبي الاستبيانات، وبعد ما عبيناها ورقيا وبعد ما جمعناها وبعد ما قارناها ورقيا وحاسوبيا مشان نأكد من صحة المعلومات من صحة تمام. كانت المقابلة مع جامعة شينادوا وطلاب جامعة اليرموك مشان نصحح المعلومات اللي احنا جمعناهم من قبل الاستبيانات المطلوبة منا لتحقيق أفضل ما يكون، وإضافة إلى معرفة كبيرة حول آلية المقارنة مشان تكون إجراءات دقيقة جدا.
Well, so almost she say the same I have said right now. She just was talking about the process when I was meeting Shenandoah University across the Zoom. She was just describe the details when Dr. Scout and Eunice and Dr. Reem asked us a certain question. Discuss the part of our survey. Yeah. Thank you.
So Faith, would you like to speak a little bit about this? I believe Jordan was your first time out of the country, so that must have been a pretty awesome experience for you.
Yes, going to Jordan was an incredible experience. It was very eye-opening. Malak had mentioned how we had met like on Zoom, you know, the Winchester team and the Jordan team. And we also had a WhatsApp group that we would speak through. And of course, there are challenges with the time zone, with like managing, you know, finding a time to talk, you know, being on the same page in that way. So actually going to Jordan in person and meeting our counterpart Jordanian team was extremely eye-opening because it gave us the opportunity to meet people who we had not spoken to before. We got to talk about the different processes and our different research goals and how those could fit together. Like looking at the Jordanian project, they were asking, this stuck out to me, they were asking the families like how many exact pieces of falafel they ate within a specific time period. And the fact that they would have such a limited amount of food, or that the concern was so significant in their lives that they could offer an exact amount of how many pieces of falafel as an example, that they would eat within a specific time period is mind-blowing to me. Because if you asked me like what I had for breakfast yesterday or even today, that would be a bigger challenge for me. So thinking about that was incredible. And then we also created a second survey about the volunteer experience. So we had staff people, we had students from both Shenandoah and Yarmouk speak on what they found valuable from the project and their experiences. So being able to talk with these other students and these staff members about what stuck out to them was really incredible. And the day that we were doing that discussion was March 14th. And I remember that because it is Pi Day. And once we told the people from Yarmouk that it was Pi Day, they put in the effort of going out and buying us like a cake, because I don't think that they have pie. But we had this fun little bonding experience over, Pi Day. So the sharing of, cultural experiences and perspectives was kind of a once in a lifetime experience. And the effort that was shown by both the, receiving, students, staff, faculty from Yarmouk would get, anywhere else. So it was invaluable to connect with Yarmouk.
Yeah, and that was our good friend Dr. Ali who brought us the dessert that day, and we repaid the favor because he got to try some pies yesterday. So as I mentioned, we are one student short on the Shenandoah side of things. Our friend Josephine was an instrumental part of this group as well. Josephine kind of served as our de facto translator when we were in Jordan because she is a fluent Arabic speaker, which is why Faith still, as of about 30 minutes ago, remembered how to say chicken in Arabic. So we're going to hear a little bit from Josephine, who is currently studying abroad in the UK right now. She sent in a video.
Hello everyone, marhaban. My name is Josephine Sekli, and while I wish I was here to speak with you all today in person, I'm unfortunately several thousand miles away. Nonetheless, I am honored to get the chance to share with you some of my experiences learning and engaging with COIL at Shenandoah University. So one of the focuses of this conference is COIL, or Collaborative Online International Learning. In my few years here at Shenandoah, I've had the chance to do not one, but 3 engagements with students from different countries for classes: Malaysia, Egypt, and finally, the Zero Hunger research experience with Jordan. I worked with Malaysian students for a wildlife management course under Dr. Agrassi and the ecology department, and with Egyptian students for a religion and sexuality and Islam course with our very own Dr. Mirza. It was a really impactful experience to have an interdisciplinary approach to the COIL aspects of the classes. What I really want to share with you in depth is the COIL experience that I, along with the rest of the SU team, had in Jordan this past March. Now, I'm not sure how many of you have had the chance to travel abroad before, but the first thing I'd like to say is to urge all students present, especially the first-year students, to take every opportunity to grow and experience things during your time here at SU. This university is so special for a variety of reasons, and many opportunities you can partake in are unique to this institution. As I'm sure you've heard a million times, your undergraduate experience is one where you are sure to grow, to learn, and to experience things unlike anything you ever have or ever will again. So I'm really excited to share some of these experiences with you. So first, some background info might be helpful. I'm a second-generation immigrant in which both of my parents immigrated to the States from Lebanon to escape war. Lebanon is a neighboring nation to Jordan, and we share many similar customs and traditions. So I grew up with that extra culture in my back pocket, and my interest in learning about the Middle East bled into every aspect of my growing curiosity. Much like how my love of Greek mythology shifted to interests in evolutionary history, so will your childhood interests grow and shift into your passions. After months of meeting virtually, we were lucky enough to meet with our Jordanian counterparts in person. Through our partnerships with Yarmouk University, our team has had the chance to visit historical, cultural, and religious sites, along with visiting Palestinian refugee camps in Irbid, Jordan. They gave us insight into their research in food insecurity in the camps, and it was inspiring to see all the work that the Refugees, Displaced Persons, and Forced Migration Studies Center has done and continues to do. I think I can speak for the rest of the group when I say that the generosity and kindness that we received from everyone was so beautiful, down to the refugee families who invited us into their homes to chat. Much like how visiting the food pantries here in Winchester made our end of the work feel more concrete and personal, visiting the camps in Jordan brought similar feelings. On another personal note, I came to Jordan so excited to explore a new country and meet new people from my region. However, I wasn't expecting to feel such a physical and visceral tie to the land. The generosity and kindness I mentioned earlier helped introduce and facilitate some of my dearest friendships now. It is a lovely and humbling feeling, and I am so blessed to continue to keep in touch with some of the lovely folks from Irbid. Speaking the local language as we made our way through the outdoor markets or expressing our appreciation to the tour guides and bus drivers was really significant for me. Being able to call the older men who helped us Ammo and telling them Allah ya'tik al-afiyah, or may God give you health, and being called Binti is reminiscent of my childhood and is something I really value about our shared cultures. Hospitality, generosity, and kindness are some of the first feelings I really associate with our trip in Jordan. So my experience in Jordan, not considering the amazing different historical and culturally significant sites we visited, was such a colorful and vibrant blur. It inspired me to alter my career aspirations. I learned a lot from the international conference we attended there, and it helped me realize I'd like to do similar work in the future. Combining ecological, sociological, and political research to aid people in need is such an important task, and it was inspiring to see that action in Yarmouk. Again, I urge you to take every opportunity you can to diversify your education while at Shenandoah, whether it's applying for GCP or in student organizations or taking classes with choral aspects. You never know what may come your way from simple academic choices you make. Thank you for your attention.
So, to basically do a quick answer to that question, unfortunately, I had to have fun with the United States passport system, which took about 4 months when it usually takes about 2. So, that's the unfortunate reason, but I'm so happy to meet everyone today and look forward to getting to know everyone as they spend their time here in the United States.
And Josh has been as important a part of our team as anyone, so I think he's a great illustration on why this online thing really works, because he's been a part of the Zoom meetings and he has been an integral part of the on-the-ground aspect here in Winchester. So hopefully next time we head to Jordan, Josh will have his passport and be able to come, but yeah. Zero Hunger Part 2, exactly. Are we good on the video? Okay. I think we had a question back here. Elena, do you have a microphone that?
Testing.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, where's the question?
Right back here.
Hello? Hey, so how long in total have you been working on this project? Sorry. So, an elapsed just how much effort over the period of time that you've been working have you put into this?
Do you want to start on the Shenandoah side?
So we had to apply for the project in early spring of 2022, and then the work began in the fall of 2022. So at this point, we've been going for a little over a year, I would say. But I'm sure that on the staff faculty part, work has been going on long before that, because we had Marguerite who had to get us the grant that is allowing us to do what we do. Thank you, Marguerite. As well as Dr. Mirza and Dr. McClure having to kind of prepare and plan what we were going to do in terms of the surveys that we started in fall of 2022. So.
Josh, would you like to add anything? Okay. Malak, how long have you all been working on this?
Well, so as I said, each researcher had wanted to survey 12 of them for Orbit Camp. So for 1 week on Saturday, we spent just 1 day to fill the survey. 12 survey in Orbit Camp, and in the other week, in the second week, we spent the second Saturday just to fill out the survey. Maybe after we done to fill out the survey on paper, we need just to fill out this information on the computer. Maybe just take 1 month or 3 weeks. Just 1 month. Yeah.
Anybody else? Questions right now? We might be making some progress here on the video. Okay. Well, so maybe we can transition to another question. Oh, we have a question right down here.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so you mentioned about how you have a long-term objective for this research that you hope continues on. And I'm wondering if you could elaborate a little bit more about what you think are some ideas, some solutions that you came up with between the two countries for long-term
Yeah, all you first-year students, if you were asleep before, you're awake now. You might hear that playing at like a rave in the next few weeks. You might hear that playing at like a rave in the next few weeks. My turn. You might hear that playing at like a rave in the next few weeks. My turn. You might hear that playing at like a rave.
After months of meeting virtually.
Okay.
We were lucky enough
Okay, well, unfortunately, the video is creating some issues, but maybe we can find a way to get that link out to you, because I think
We have a question over here.
okay. Josephine, I think the only person that might be more proud of Josephine than us is her mom, who is here helping volunteer today. So yeah, we are, like I said, Josephine was such an integral part of this team, and we wish she could be here with us today, but we're very excited for her. She's having a blast on her semester abroad in the UK. So Josephine, we are sorry that the video, we ran into some hiccups and some interesting audio. But we're so grateful for you, and thanks for making your voice heard at least a little bit here today. So I think we had another question somewhere. Dr. Ali?
Okay. Indeed, it was not a question. So it was a comment about, have you heard the echo of the project? So it has an echo. The comment here that I have seen, I'm seeing a very, positive energy in the room. And with this young, people and young generations, my advice, I have been in the academia for a while now. My advice is you have to go to the field, because theories and reading books and having all of a regular university student is not the only face of the world. So when you go to the field and when you see people and when you interact and when you do some social work and when you do some charity and good deeds, your life will be changed forever, and your fingerprint will be more influential in your society. So it's an open invitation for everyone to get more involved in community service and try to get out, being a regular university student. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. So that actually I have one more question I would like to ask our panelists, and that sort of segues us very well into that question. So as we alluded to, we did not only the surveying in our communities, but we actually did a follow-up survey for our participants in this project to kind of gauge what we liked about the project, what was successful, what was not successful. And that was done with the help of Dr. Scott McClure, who, if you'll be here tomorrow, you'll have the opportunity to hear from. He's sitting there in the back. One of the things that we found, interestingly, was that the students, the participants that were the most impacted for this project were the ones that felt the least prepared coming into it. So my last question for you all is just, we have a lot of first-year students here who I'm sure you all have things that you're passionate about, but I understand it's a big, crazy world, and it might feel a little bit difficult to make your impact when you see an issue that needs addressed. So my question for you all is just, what advice would you give to students, to people in the audience who have something that they're passionate about, but might not know how to take that first step, but how to create change? Would you like to start?
Well, I would like just to say my advice, don't be hesitate to do anything or to try anything. You did not know where is the choice. Maybe it's going to be just an environment view on another side. So if you have any chance to try anything in your life, to do anything specific, when you know that thing will help anyone, just do it. Thank you.
بنصحكم نصيحة، لو إنه مش عارفين وين تروحوا طريقكم، لو خايفين من الطريق اللي بتمشوا فيه، حاولوا اعملوا المستحيل مشان تقوي علاقتكم مع الدكاترة، وخصنص يعني إنه مشان تستفيدوا من خبرتهم الكبيرة، ولا تخافوا حتى لو كانت لغتكم ضعيفة اللغة الإنجليزية، عادي. Don't worry.
Well, she said, don't be afraid to try anything. Get an internet opportunity in a rendezvous. As I said, maybe your chance in a rendezvous and you did not see it. So just try to do anything. If you need just to do that, just do it. Do it. Thank you.
How about our Shenandoah team real quick? And then I see a question over here. Josh, Faith, any thoughts?
Especially being in college, I would say utilize your resources. Making change, needing money can be a large barrier to doing what you want to do. So if you have a question or a project or just an idea, a goal, a dream, something, being at college, I would suggest, taking that step and talking about it, Don't be afraid of being uncomfortable, because that's what you need to do in order to grow. And while you have a lot of resources around you, that can open a lot of doors by talking to other people who have pursued their passions, who have, started their own research projects. Just ask,
All right, so I guess for me, for all of you here, I would say don't be afraid to go outside your own major and try different things. Like for me, since I'm a history major, it's kind of interesting me working on a team about food insecurities, because it really does not have that much to do with my major. But it's such a life-changing experience in general, and if you're passionate about something or have the time to do it, I would say 100% do it. Yeah, you will regret it later if you don't.
Awesome. So I think we have time for a couple more questions, and I believe Dr. Reem has one, and of course she gets first priority.
Oh, here you go.
She's the big boss.
Okay, Thank you. Thank you. I would like to thank Amy. She's the angel of this work. I remember the day she came to Yarmouk University and signed the Memorandum of Understanding. I will not forget that day. You do a great job, Amy. Thank you from my heart.
Okay.
First off, I want to say you guys did awesome, just kind of rolling with the punches. And that's kind of part of international travel sometimes too. So you guys did a great job on the panel today. My question is, how has participating in this project affected your future career or professional plans?
So I guess I'll answer first. I want to go to grad school after I graduate and pursue my master's in counseling. So, I already want to continue helping people just in a different capacity, but I think this project has given me a soft spot and more awareness for, people going through specific sorts of situations and thinking about what those might be. Because, being food insecure most certainly can impact your mental health and your family dynamics, your relationships. And, that's something that I would want to focus on in my career. And I'm sure I would continue looking for other volunteering opportunities or research opportunities as well.
And just to kind of add on to what Faith said, for myself, it's kind of like it was something I was already pretty passionate about with my work with the Food Recovery Network and things like that. But due to being part of this project, it had just let me make a lot of connections within like the non-profit food insecurity, food bank, food pantry community. So by interacting with these people, I'll be able to continue my work with like food insecurities and things like that as we work towards zero hunger in this country and beyond.
Anything from, no? Okay, any other questions? We have time for probably one more. Going once. One more down here.
Oh, yeah, sure. So the Zero Hunger Project, I'm assuming, is directly correlated to the United Nations SDGs?
Well done.
Great. So I'm assuming, from what I can remember, the goal is to more or less solve world hunger by 2030. So from all of your personal experiences, do you believe that that is still possible?
Well, I guess so. If we work hand to hand together every day and every time, if we get an opportunity to help these refugees, we can do that. Yeah, sure. It's not hard, you know that.
I guess for our side, I definitely think it's possible to solve hunger by 2030. I think it's going to be a very difficult ride, but seeing everyone in this room show up today, and if you care about this subject as deeply I do, and even if you don't know much about it, just doing your small little part by helping out your communities is definitely a possible thing to do. We just need as much help as possible to complete that goal.
Faith, anything you'd like to add? All right, I think Malak would like to say one more thing before we get out of here.
Well, guys, in conclusion, I can only express how uniquely impactful this experience has been for me. Thank you so much, and I want to say in front of you, thank you so much for my boss, Dr. Reem, and Dr. Ali, and my supervisor for everything, for your help, for your help to us in the project. Thank you so much for everybody. Thank you for your attention.
All right, I think that is a good way to wrap up. Thank you so much to our panelists for being here, especially to our friends from Yarmouk who traveled so far to be here. Thank you, FYS classes, for being here. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll move on to the next session in about 10 minutes.